Hi friends, to make a cuff, you're going to need a baseball or softball, flat waxed cord, an upholstery needle, jewelry findings, and a sharp pair of little scissors. So you're going to hoop a sheet of medium weight cutaway stabilizer. Run step 1, which is your inner margin placement stitches, and then lay the panel over the stitches and make sure they line up just inside the little holes. Take your time with this. When you get it all pinned down, hold it up to the light to make sure that everything lines up neatly. And go ahead and stitch out your design. And once you're done with that, cut away your stabilizer, trim up any extra long stitches in the back, get your felt, trace out your panel, and then go ahead and cut the panel just on the inside of the line. Take your flat waxed cord. I did about 80 inches or so. Tie a good knot at the end and start from the inside of the panel, the wrong side of the panel. And you're just gonna loop around starting from the back side every time. And you're just gonna loop, loop, loop all the way around and straightening up the stitches as you go. Don't pull too tight because you don't want it to pucker or anything weird like that, but pull it tight enough to where it's secure and there's no gaps. Now, if you make a mistake, like I did here, and just goofed and wasn't paying attention, pull the cord back away from the hole and put the needle back through the hole that you just went through. Be very careful and don't grab any of the thread. That's why I use the waxed cord. Don't grab any of the thread or go back up in between it because it won't pull out. But if you put it all the way in the back of the hole, it'll just pop right back out. And then you can return to loop-de-looping from the back. Now, obviously, I'm not going to make you sit and watch the whole thing, so fast forward, all done. I just take, this is why I used a curved upholstery needle, I just take it and stitch it right through the stabilizer and pull it out. You don't need to make a knot or anything because that's going to go underneath the felt of the cuff. And I'm actually going to hot glue it because it kept flying away and not doing what it's supposed to be doing. So I get my jewelry findings, and here I've used a jump ring, a swivel ring, a split ring, and a toggle clasp. It's kind of overkill, but I just had it laying around, so I just kind of all put it together to see how I wanted to set everything up, and it ended up being a little bit too much, so I took the swivel clasp off and the split ring off and just used the jump ring and the toggle clasp. Depending on the size of the receiver's arm or wrist, you can add that back in if you want to have that extra little oomph on there. Secure that on one end. And yes, I know this is gold, but I had no more silver jump rings. So you get a jump ring and attach a little bit of chain to it on one end, and the other end is going to be the other side of the toggle clasp, the little bar. And once you get all those together and straightened, I had just clipped my nails, so I had no nails to pull anything through. I'll know better now next time. And obviously don't use your tools like this. You'll scratch up the clasp and everything. But for time constraint, I just used what I had and rolled with it. So once you have that done, you can see that it fits perfectly right over the hand. You can pull it to adjust it. You can add an extra little hook if you want to, so it doesn't slide. I have a pretty big wrist, so I just kind of left it like that, and I thought it felt nice, just kind of hanging around there. So take your piece of felt, clean it off real good. Make sure you don't have any stray things hanging around from the rest of your crafts. If you're like mine, there's fabric dust everywhere. So that little goofy string would not stay stuck down. So I got out my high temp glue gun and stuck that sucker down. I recommend just putting a little bit. This is another great thing about the flat waxed cord is it melts. So if you put the glue gun close to it and kind of smush it down in there, it melts along with everything else. So it works out really great. And then you're going to want to just take, look, I even got more on there. I knew I would. So just take that panel again, clean it off if you need to, and place it exactly where it's going to go onto the cuff. And, you know, just kind of even things out, run your finger along. It doesn't have to line up perfect, and that's okay because you're not going to see it. Go ahead and use your glue, your hot glue, your high temp glue, or whatever glue you want to use. I just use hot glue because it's fast and easy. Put it only down the middle part. You do not want to put it around the sides just yet, because when you go and flatten everything out, it's going to ooze out the side. So trim it up if you need to, gently flatten everything out. You can feel the glue underneath it, so you know how far to the edge it's going. If you go too far and you put too much glue, it's going to ooze out the holes onto the front, so you don't want that. So once that's dried, you want to go and kind of, look, nails would have been helpful there too. You want to go and gently and lightly, gingerly put in some more hot glue, just a little flat piece of it, just so when you smush it down, you can kind of feel it oozing out to the side and it lines up perfectly. It doesn't come through the holes. You know, you don't have excess of it squeezing out. It's wonderful. So just, you know, rinse and repeat. Do this all around your cuff. Make sure it is wholly secure. Straighten out any errant stitches that might have gotten goofy. And that's it. You're all done. Take pictures of it and marvel in your cuff. Thanks for listening and watching. Have a great day.